Hold on. I am bringing in Tamar. Hi, how are you? Thanks for joining. Hi, beautiful. How are you?
Wearing my pink.
Look at your pink. I'm digging that. It is so great to see you. Thank you.
Great
Uh,
seeing you.
oh, I see people are coming in. I have gotten so many questions for this, Tamar. You are popular.
Oh my God. You know what? I think a lot of people looking for common sense.
No
The,
kidding.
I think every day we're looking for common sense, but I think now more than ever, Cindy, and I really think that this is obviously a time of challenge, always bring a time of opportunity, and
Sure.
the biggest opportunity at this time of disconnection
Yeah,
that people want to connect.
I
So,
love it.
the first, those that we want to connect are those in our home. And sometimes, or most of the times, it's easier to connect with a dog
Yes.
than to connect
Then
with
the
people that we love. Our,
totally.
our children, I mean, I hear it, Cindy, I cannot tell you on daily basis. I love my children. I love my significant other. I just can't look at them.
Yeah,
So the dog right now is such an important component of our sanity.
yeah,
And
totally.
it's always that way. A dog is always there, but I think now we recognize it more, and I think that's why you are getting all these questions.
I love it. Tamara and I have so much fun in our conversation. She's so right. Like we're all talking about connection. I'm always dealing with how you connect in a relationship and with sex. And she's talking
Yes,
about our four-legged friends who are sometimes easier for us for sure. Let me introduce, we finally got some people joining us. So I want to introduce everybody. This is so much fun for me because I'm combining two of my biggest loves, which is incredible women on top like Tamar Geller, who really do work to put other women on top. They are the real deal. They walk the walk. And
thank you.
my total love of dogs. And Tamar knows I'm obsessed with animals in general, and I have my own four-legged friend issues during quarantine we're going to talk about. But I want to, I'm going to jump right in. For those of you who don't know Tamar, you must have missed her two-time New York Times best-selling books. But you should get The Loved Dog, which is her handle on Instagram. I've got it marked for everybody here. And she's known as a life coach to celebrity dogs and their people. And she takes such a kind, different approach. I mean, her roster is incredible. We're going to get to that. But I want to jump in first with a little bit of a surprise for everybody. I'm totally fascinated by your background. So you are a former Israeli intelligence officer, special forces. I've seen you described as a spy.
No.
Tell me about your childhood. Tell me how you got into that. And then tell me about the transition to your love of canines.
Okay. So before I do, let me ask you, because I need to know the short or the longer version. Are we for 30 minutes or for an hour?
Oh, let's take if you're game, I'm game to go longer. I think we're gonna
Okay.
get a lot of questions.
All right. So, I used to be, yes, an intelligence officer with the elite special forces. And the way it works in Israel, it's a mandatory to be in the military, but they have us for only short period of time. Women do
Yeah,
2 years and men do 3 years. And what they want is to get the best of each person for that limited time that they have. So they want to hit each person's sweet spot, so to speak, where they can be their best, where they
yeah.
can contribute the best, so the country gonna get the best from that short period of time. So while we are in high school, Cindy, they test us to see what our natural gifts are. And when they tested me, they figured out that I have a gift to notice the quote unquote unimportant things, details,
Hmm.
particularly when it comes to behavior. So later on, they put me on the route to become an intelligence officer
So
that
cool.
focus on behavior. If you think about Osama bin Laden,
Yeah.
remember, we were trying to find where he was located for so long, excuse me, and we couldn't find where he was located
Yeah.
until one detail emerged. If you remember, they tracked down the delivery guy who was giving his medicine from the pharmacy, and they followed him, and that's how they found where Osama bin Laden. So normally when you think intelligence, you think, you know, the big events, the big politician, the power people. I would be one of the people
I
who
got
spending time knowing every detail of the life of the delivery boy for the pharmacy. He loves his son. His son, he has many children. That is the one son that he loves more than anybody. And the son has every Tuesday and Thursday have a practice, a soccer practice. And that pharmacy delivery guy would never miss it for the world. Oh boy, but that Tuesday it's raining. There's gonna be no soccer practice. So that guy, what's gonna happen with him? And you understand, so when you look at intelligence, it sounds so glamorous and it's so not. It's not
yes.
glamorous. It really trains you, if you particularly had the gift for it from the beginning,
Yeah.
to look for details. And that's what I'm doing
Trained.
now with dogs, where you give me a dog, and I'm doing it for over 30 years.
Yeah.
I can look at the dog, and I have to make some interaction games where I'm starting to see how the dog processes information, and I notice the things that most people would overlook.
Huh.
And I notice them, but also because I have a lot of respect to a dog. I do
Yeah.
not look at them as dogs. I look at them as what science shows, that they are very much like cognitively and emotionally like a toddler. So
Yes.
I'm going to disrespect a toddler. I'm not disrespecting a dog.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Oh, I
I
do.
brought me to that. Now, there's something else also that made me able to notice these little unimportant details. I wasn't born with that, I believe. I believe that life and my childhood made me that, and
How
which
so?
quality helps me with the dog. And I'm talking about the concept of feeling unsafe as a child.
Oh, yeah.
And my parents were too young. They should not have been married to each other. They were completely not a match. And I
Mm-hmm.
was first born when they were very young. And I was born with allergy. My mom did not breastfeed me, and they gave me cow's milk,
Yeah.
right? And it completely caused a cascade of behaviors where I was sick and I was crying and I couldn't be touched because I had gout.
Uh,
But my young parents, instead of understanding, and there was not as much support back then either.
yeah. Yeah. For
Born,
sure.
I was born when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
It's not
So,
true.
so what happened was my childhood was filled with emotional violence, physical violence, neglect,
Oh.
but it made my nervous system be hypervigilant.
Mm-hmm.
Not fun to live from a hypervigilant place. When you look at attachment theories, it's
Yes.
called, I forgot what it's called, it's going to come to me. It's going to come to me, but my attachment theory is looking for what can go wrong. You know,
Mm.
I'm
Mm.
vigilant to see what is out of place, that I can protect myself,
Yeah.
defend myself, instead in case something is going wrong.
Yeah.
All right. So that also what led me to notice the small detail, which made me become an intelligence officer, which made me understand dog and serve dogs.
Oh.
They're
Yeah.
parent. So
Mm-hmm.
like the beauty is when we look at life, at time things that looks like horrible, in retrospect of time, we say, wow, God is amazing. The
Of
universe,
course.
God, a higher intelligence, connect the dots, and you see the story, how it all ties together for our greater good and for us to be able to serve.
Yeah. Yeah.
Way.
That's such a great, I mean, I just wanted you all to get introduced to this incredible woman. And that is really such a fascinating story. I think, you know, I had an unusual childhood, thankfully not one in which I felt unsafe, but one in which there was a lot of disruption and instability. I moved a lot. And it's like you said, you look back on those things and how they laid the foundation for your future work. And I was sort of predestined, I think, to take big risks as an entrepreneur because I got very comfortable with that practice of, you know, being uncomfortable. Okay, we're going to jump into dogs. I'm seeing questions. And by the way, I saw Belle Hahn joined us. Hi, Belle. It's so good to see you. Okay, this is Tamar's roster. So she has trained countless celebrity dogs and their people. But let me name a few. Ellen, Oprah, Reese, Gaga. I'm just going to stick to the ones that just go by one by one word. There are some guys in there too. I got to give some love. There's Brad Paisley. There's Maria Menounos, who I love. Like so many wonderful people and mutual friends. Who Mark Wahlberg. Okay.
Ben Affleck was an amazing dog daddy.
Really? Okay, you have to spill some, you have to give us some dish. First of all, what is that first phone call like? Are you ever starstruck by some of your clients? I need to know this. And are there any crazy stories that you've shared before about some of these celebrity dogs that you've really become attached to?
So I'm really like a dog in a human body.
I love it.
Spirit having a human experience is I'm a dog having a human experience. And the beauty about dogs is that they don't know who how famous the people are. They don't know with any of us. They don't know how skinny or out of shape we are. They don't care. They don't know how much money we have in the bank. They don't care. They don't know how many followers we have. They don't care. All they care is who we are. Look at this quarantine time when we are like barely changing out of our PJs. Right. You look like Einstein, you know.
Yes.
Dogs don't care, you know.
Yeah.
Like a dog. When people are calling me, whether they're celebrities or not celebrities, I'm looking to see, are you a dog lover or are you a dog liker? If you're
How do you tell the difference? How can you tell?
Like any relationship, are you committed to the relationship or are you going to be in that relationship as long as you come?
Serves you.
It serves you. If you're coming to the relationship of how can you serve me, you're a lover, you're a liker.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, I do.
Tony Robbins calls it a horse trading. What can you do for me?
Yeah.
If you are that, I'm not for you.
Yeah.
Whether you are Joe Blow or whether you are the top of the industry.
Sure.
Working only with people who are looking at relationships as a spiritual opportunity to give and receive, like a bank account. You cannot withdraw before you put money in.
Sure.
3, you cannot pick up fruit if you haven't watered and fertilized. The same with any relationship. And with dogs, dogs are what I call, Cindy, training wheels, like on a bicycle. We learn how to be in a relationship. So when you come to me, we make a team. You, me, and the dog, and we as the humans, we know better. We are the grown-ups. They are toddlers. I expect you to show up, and I will help you to bring the best out of your dog. If you just want to do nothing and for your dog to be quote unquote obedient, I'm not for you. I do not believe in obedient spouses. I do not believe in obedient kids. I do not believe in obedient in sex.
Yes.
I believe in anything. And to me, what you're doing, the women on top, is not women on top, we are better. Is that beautiful feminine force, Mother Earth, Mother, where I'm talking to you and I have goosebumps, where we need to let that beautiful feminine energy to be on top of service, because we women are built in our DNA to be in communities. We are gatherers, we're not hunters.
Mm-hmm.
Everything
Mm-hmm.
about us is service. So with what you do and the beautiful movement that you've created,
Thank
and
you.
what I do it through dogs.
Yeah, I
So
love that.
don't get starstruck, because if some celebrity has an inflated ego and they come to me, it
Yeah.
makes it more difficult for me.
Yeah.
And
No, that makes sense.
I would not do it, because I'm here to serve God, the universe, life through dogs, not you, Mr. Celebrity or Mrs. Celebrity.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
dog doesn't know and doesn't care who you are. And me, as a representative, as an interpreter of your dog,
Mm-hmm.
does it make sense?
It makes such beautiful sense. We're getting love on that. This is such a good comment. Feminine energy on top. You're speaking to my soul. I mean, Tamar really does. We've so connected in this, and our worlds are different in terms of what we do professionally, but like there is so much interconnectedness. When we started this, if you've joined us, I'm speaking with Tamar Geller, and she was saying, like, especially right now in this moment, our ability to connect with our dogs, with our pets, our four-legged friends is almost easier in this moment. It's so important in this moment. And like you said, it gives us this foundation that actually serves our other human relationships. So this is one thing that has so warmed my heart during this period, is that these shelters are almost empty. Unlike any other period, there's been so many people who've gone out to adopt. Now, I'd love your perspective on that. What is a tip? Is it good that everybody's racing out to do this right now? To your point, is it not that they're in the service of the dog, but they're wanting something from them and not the other direction? I want your commentary on it, because we're all reading a lot of stories about it.
I'm so grateful that you asked me that question, because nobody have asked me that question, and I have mixed emotions about it.
Yeah.
And here's what it is. I'm very happy the dogs don't live in shelters. Shelters are very, very, very difficult on the nervous system for any dog. There's a lot of stress. The metal clinking of the doors, the barking, the fear, the sympathetic nervous system of the dog is completely in an overload.
Mm.
I'm very happy for dogs to be out of there. But here is my concern. My concern is, have you made a commitment to the dog, or are you taking the dog right now while
Yeah.
serving you?
Mm-hmm.
Then, you are going to send the dog back.
Right.
And
When you're back to their old routine.
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
My worry is how much commitment people are willing to make for that dog that they took in. My hope that the shelter is going to stay empty. But
Yeah.
I tell you, I have another big issues with not even quarantine day, where they say, we want you to come and get a dog, we're going to waive the adoption fee. The way I look at that, it costs money to have a dog. They
Yes.
properly feed. We need to feed properly. If we don't feed properly, if we feed processed foods,
Yeah.
food creates health issues. You
Mm-hmm.
need to go to the vet. Any of us who've been to the vet knows it's hundreds and thousands of dollars per visit. If you do not have the $30
Yep.
to pay the adoption fee, I think you need to consider you can afford having a dog. If
Yeah.
you cannot afford having a dog, go to a rescue organization, volunteer to foster dogs for them while they are looking to find a permanent home for somebody who can afford it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that we have the right to take a dog. I think we need to see, can we be responsible
Yes.
parents to the dog? I
Mm-hmm.
that it is a privilege to have a human child. It's a privilege to have a dog. And I'm sure a lot of people would disagree with me, but I don't feel that if you cannot pay the $35, then I'm worried that you're not going to be able to do the bare minimum.
Yeah. True. Sometimes if we make it too easy, you haven't, like to your point, you haven't invested sort of the commitment. You don't understand sort of the threshold commitment that it's going to take. I think that's really That's a great perspective. I think that's an important one as well. I do, like you, I hope that they stay emptier, but I do hope that people are really fully committed to the dogs, and what a process that is to get them. I mean, they are demanding of you, as they should be, right? They're a member of your family. So Tamara's written two New York Times best-selling books. The Love Dog is her last one. You talk in that book. You give tons of great tips and advice, but you talk about the 7 basic needs of a dog. Can you walk us through those?
Yes. So the beauty is that since I wrote it, science has changed. So my teaching has changed. It's kind of like the way you do your business. You're
Yeah,
constantly evolving your business,
sure.
constantly pivoting to be with what's necessary. If you're going to say, I'm doing that and I'm not changing no matter what, poof, you'll be out of business. We all know Kodak film. We all know what was where we were renting videos.
Yeah,
Blue.
Blockbuster. That's right.
Kodak film did not see digital camera,
Sure.
although they knew about it before anybody else.
Yeah.
Pastor did not believe in Netflix. So the key is pivoting. So what I wrote when I wrote that book, which was about 13 years ago, it has changed. And what I've done is I'm very good friends with Tony Robbins, who I think is so brilliant at understanding how to help people be the best version of themselves,
Yes.
the best relationships.
Yeah.
So what I've done, and Tony sent his dog to me. He sent her from Florida. They tried other methods of training, then they sent her to me.
Amazing.
Because what he realized that I'm really using a lot of Tony's methods, well, brilliant methods with dogs. Because again, remember, dogs very much are like toddler,
Yeah.
cognitively and emotionally. So I'm doing now the needs the way Tony explains them. And I made them down to from 7 to 6 needs, where
Okay.
5 of those needs, Cindy, are identical to our needs. That's why when I was living with Oprah, at one
Yeah.
point, I was staying with her in her home in Santa Barbara, and I was living with her for a few weeks at a time. And one time we were sitting on the front steps of her home, and her dogs were the golden retrievers. They were puppies. They were playing and everything. And they constantly came to check with the mom, with Oprah, who
Yeah.
is the most amazing dog mom. And I kept pointing out things. And then I said to her at one point, what you asked me, and I said, they don't know you're Oprah.
Yeah.
They have no
Yeah.
idea.
That's
That's
cute.
started
That's
laughing. She goes, that's why I loved him. And we talked, and then she goes, Tamar, you're not a dog trainer. And I'm like, oh my Lord, I'm here living on your property to make sure that I'm helping you with the dogs. And she goes, no, no, no. She goes, remember, that was like 13 years ago. She goes,
Jeez.
a life coach. Nobody knew what life coach was for dogs and the people.
People.
All right.
That's true.
That's when, Oprah was she thinks in a way, and she views the world, and she views patterns of behavior, patterns in the world in a way that nobody else does. She is truly a unique prophet
Mm-hmm.
in our society. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I feel blessed that I live at the same time that Oprah lives.
Yeah. Yeah. For
But
sure.
anyhow, so when she did it, when she made me realize that it's about life coaching for dogs and teaching them skills, and I was studying and I still do with Tony Robbins, I
Yeah.
was able to take everything and to put it into dogs. So the skills are that we all share one of the skills is the need to feel safe, the need to feel protected, the need
Mm-hmm.
that things are predictable. So that is the need. Tony calls it certainty.
Mm-hmm.
So we are all now quarantining in our home, Cindy, feeling
Yeah.
safe. And what it is, we feel the need for the next need, which is variety.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
super, we need uncertainty. So
Yeah.
oftentimes we have the need for one and we need for the other.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great on top, but it's fun being on the bottom. You know,
Uh-huh. Right. No doubt.
right? We have another need, the need for fitting in, love and connection. We all feel like community. We do Zoom calls. We are like,
Yes.
how can we fit in? Our churches, our neighbors, our girlfriends, our businesses, dog lovers. We need to fit in. But the need for love and connection also bring another need, which is in contradiction, which is to stand out, to be noticed,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
need for significance. So
Mm-hmm.
we love to be part of the Grammys. We all write,
Yeah.
but I want to win the Grammy. Of
Right. Yeah.
this
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
We all want to do our best and to be noticed for that. In that particularly group, love and connection. So we have 4 needs so far: certainty, uncertainty, love and connection, and significance. The 5th need is the need of the spirit. It's the need for growth,
Mm.
for developing. If your company was now the way it was at the beginning, if there was no growth, if there was no growth in the company for your future, you would not
Yeah.
be. If there was no growth possibility with your loving relationship with your beautiful fiance, you
Yeah.
would be happy with
Yeah.
your growth is necessary. Every blade of grass is either growing or dying. Every leaf, every hair,
Yeah.
either growing or falling. Everything in life, we are part of nature, either growing or dying. Dogs needs to grow. Dog needs to learn. Dog needs to have new experiences. So these are the 5 needs the dog shares with us.
Yeah.
Need for people is the need for contribution. Dogs don't have a need for contribution. The need for dog is social physical exercise.
Mm-hmm.
They need to have physical exercise, not just to walk around the block. Particularly at a young age, they need to interact with others.
Yeah.
There are some caveats of those needs. You can meet the need, let's say the need for significance. You
Mm-hmm.
meet the need by creating an incredible company that serves women that nobody has done before. Nobody has done before. Major need for significance, rightly
Yeah.
so. Or you can meet the need for significance by tearing down others, putting,
Yeah.
if somebody puts you down, they make me feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
A little bit better, I put her down. Or
Yeah.
somebody who is always sick.
Mm-hmm.
I have a girlfriend who is always has a health issue. That it's kind of like, okay, let's talk about you and what
Right.
your daily health issue and why it's worse than anybody else's.
Right.
So that is the dark, that is the shadowy way to get significance. Do you
Mm-hmm.
say?
I do.
I'm looking at the dog. Are you looking to meet a need in the light, in the highest way, or in the dark, in the shadowy way? And what
Yeah.
happens is, oftentimes, not oftentimes, all the times, dog know how to meet a need according to the manual that God put in them. Of I want attention, I'll jump on you. I want attention, I'll bark at you. It
Yeah.
is the shadowy way, but this is for them, that's not shadow. For them, it's light. So what makes it shadowy is that they come to a different culture, a different society. They're foreigners. So
Mm-hmm.
instead of making them wrong for peeing on the carpet,
Yeah. Yeah.
that okay in their society.
Right.
Let's teach them what is the light way to tell us that they need to go to the bathroom, to ask
Yeah.
for attention. But
Yeah.
but we have to teach them because they are foreigners.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're foreigners. And I
Yeah.
hope people, when they interact with a dog, come from the need for contribution and love and connection. Because if you come to the relationship with dog from a place of, I need to be significant, I need to be
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
certainty.
Mm-hmm.
What we talk about, the relationship is about you.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
work, and you can always all day long go and blame the dog and say the dog is stupid, stubborn, or dominant, which that is what we see being perpetuated
Yes.
since the 1950s about dog training. You have to,
Yep.
huh? Otherwise the dog will take over. With Cindy, you and me are in the same boat because that's what they tell about women.
Yeah.
You have
That's
to
right.
place,
Mm-hmm.
otherwise she will manipulate you and
Mm-hmm.
your life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
the work that you and me do is very similar.
It is. I know. That's just everybody tuned in thinking we were just talking really simple dog, and I've got your questions I'm going to ask them, but this is what I wanted you to see in terms of the real brilliance and magic of Tamar is just everything that you have taken away here, you are applying in a much bigger picture in terms of connection. And connection is what we're all talking about right now. And it's so fundamental, these principles. And I think we can all examine all the relationships in our life and how we lead with these different, where are our needs? How are we getting them served? Are we there to serve the other? Are we only looking at what serves us? I think this is, I'm fascinated. I'm forgetting that I'm even on a live and I'm supposed to be asking you questions. I do want to say you actually mentioned, I love this, that, you know, things evolve. You've evolved it to sort of 6 needs. Similarly, you actually offer Skype sessions. Is that an evolution post COVID? Have you always done that? I'm super curious about that piece. And I know a lot of people who are watching will be curious about that too.
So I try to do Skype and Zoom calls, and I realized that I'm working 5 times as hard and I'm accomplishing only a quarter. Because for me,
Really?
I have to teach both the dog and the dog parent,
Yes.
when they are both, it's completely new to them, how to understand each other, and I cannot be there. Normally, when you work one-on-one with me, I first work with the dog while you are looking at the dog and you are like, brilliant. You are blown away. The dog is because I do not give commands. I
Yes.
give commands to dogs. I do not do obedience and I don't say no.
Yeah.
And then the dog starts with a PhD level understanding. You know, the sit, stay down. This is ridiculous. Which
Mm.
much more incredible concept, and people are like tears. Every day I have tears when I. So what I'm doing now, Cindy, I am rushing, and I'm gonna offer videos online. A lot of the content gonna be free, and
Oh.
go to my website, theloveddog.com, and sign in. So we're gonna, at the moment I have some free stuff, I will send you. I'm investing so much time and money right now.
Fantastic.
Of COVID, I cannot reach, and people are calling with so much need, so much desperation. And I'm like, I know exactly what you need. I know exactly what your dog needs, but I know that I cannot serve you by telling you. It just, I can't, the timing, I
Yeah.
cannot. So I have to first teach the dog, so then I'm going to work with you because it's easier for a dog to learn than for human.
Yes.
It
Yeah,
is.
I get that. Okay, if everybody, somebody's going to write that down for me, but thelovedog.com, I want you guys to go there and sign up for tomorrow. I'm going to ask you a couple questions here that I've gotten in. So one of the questions that has come up is one, you talked a lot about food earlier. What do you feed your dogs? There's a question on that.
Okay. So eat food is a crucial element to manage the brain. We have all the science that taught us about microbiome.
Yeah.
And microbiome was proven scientifically that through your diet, you can control depression, you can control anxiety, you can control focus. Not you can, it will control depression, anxiety, focus, ADHD. It will
Mm-hmm.
control more than anything. If you feed kibble, any type of kibble, the most expensive kibble or grocery stores kibble, it doesn't matter. It's processed foods. If you feed processed foods, the microbiome is inflamed, is filled with sugar, filled with toxins. It's a minute before your dog gonna get leaky gut, chronic ear infection, hot spots, tummy aches, and from my point of view, behavioral issues,
Yeah.
lack of focus, hyperness, anxiety. So to feed properly is incredible. You must. So what I'm looking for is I want food that are based in proper protein, really good protein, and not the way it says on the packaging of the dog food. Because watch a movie on Netflix called Pet Fooled,
Pet
Foo.
fooled. Okay.
Look,
Somebody write that in for me. I've got to be better about this. Pet fooled.
look how it is legal for them to write, for the dog food companies to write on the label that protein is the first ingredient, when in fact, protein is the last ingredient.
Oh my.
Is
Yeah.
the way, let's say, the chicken, while it's full of liquid. And by the way, they don't give the full chicken. If it was full chicken with the breast and everything, you would think you will get that bag who has
Sure.
so many chickens for
Mm.
for 50, $70.
Mm-hmm.
The math don't work. Just
Mm-hmm.
was really the ingredients that they say they were. There's no way you would pay that. Think how much it would cost, really. So you're getting the worst of the worst of the worst. So what I want is real protein that involves internal organs, and you want not to have carbohydrates, not to have simple carbohydrates,
Okay.
okay, and certainly not sugars. So I feed my dog raw foods, different raw foods that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
Not that raw food is it is the best, but you can do it also with lightly cooked food, but it's just easier for me with raw food. And I'm not affiliated with anybody. If there is a great raw food company that wants me to work with them, I'm open. I looked at some of them. They came to
Yeah.
me and it did not make sense for me to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if it makes sense, I will do it. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
just doing everything where my message is most important. And while I'm not affiliated with anybody,
Yeah.
people know that I'm coming from my heart.
Yeah, for
They,
sure. It's what you do for your own pets. Totally. I love that.
and
Okay, Madison says she has a dog that doesn't respect her personal space. Totally her shadow. I have one like this too, who is always right pinned near me. But how do you get them to respect that? Because they're looking for that love and connection, right? That's the need you're talking about, and we want to give it to them. But there's moments in time where they're invading space, and it often happens when somebody else comes over to the house, and they might not have that same affinity for your dog.
okay. So I want you to think of when you were learning how to drive a car.
Okay.
We learn how to drive a car in order for us to be able to get on the highways and the freeways at rush hour and change lanes and everything, right?
Yeah.
Will you do your first driving lesson on the freeway at rush hour?
No. Yeah.
No,
No. Uh-huh.
because it's so ridiculous, right?
Sure.
So when do people train the dogs? They try to teach the dogs when the situation occurred, when they have all these things where both dog is distracted and you are distracted. Or they take the dog to puppy classes in a pet store where there are a lot of dogs, a lot going on. The dog cannot learn. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Any question that you ask me, when anybody asks me a question, how do I stop a dog from this? My question to them is, what would you like them to do instead?
Yeah.
If you do not know, you as the parent, you as the human, do not know what you want them to do instead, how the heck would they know?
Of course. Yeah, for sure.
What happened is oftentimes, like I have a magnificent woman who is helping me organize the videos, and she was my client. She came to me because her beautiful dog, a little poodle, brilliant, anytime she would leave the home, she was living in New York, he would lose his mind, scream bloody murder and everything. She worked with trainers, everything in there. And she came here and she told me what she was doing. And I said, well, I don't know if I could help you. I mean, you are such a person. You're on top of your game. I don't know if I can help you. And she said, tomorrow I want to do a session with you. And I said, okay, come. And we went through everything, and we went through the needs, and we went through all the, what do you associate her little baby poodle with pain, what do you associate with pleasure. And we realized that unbeknownst to her, she was always touching him the moment he came close to her. She was not even aware. And now that she works closely with me as we're doing the videos, she did not realize. I asked her, put him down on the floor. She put him down on the floor. He jumps up on the chair. While she's talking to me, she's picking him up, putting him on her lap. Hello. Oh my God, I didn't even notice. So she's sitting there holding her hands. It's like almost like she needs to put them in handcuffs.
Oh my God, that is like a light bulb moment for me, because I'm the same. I can just do it on autopilot, pick them up. Absolutely.
And then we look, the next step is she's like, okay, she knows not to pick him up when she remembers, but then he makes a peep and she's immediately looking, and I'm like, hello.
Yeah.
What do you want? How are we going to teach him not to come to you all the time?
Yeah.
You are the outmost source of the best thing in life.
Yeah. Yeah.
What you want to ask yourself is, what else can I do that is a way for me that my dog gonna associate with more pleasure?
Mm-hmm.
And every dog is different. Kind of like some women, number one pleasure is shopping. For me, shopping is at the bottom of the list. I don't like shopping. You know what?
Yeah.
Every dog is different. Every person is different. But the first thing that I have to ask whoever asks that question is, look at your behavior.
Yeah.
And then ask yourself a question: what do I want my dog to do instead? And what steps that I need to take to get them there, not starting with the freeway.
Yeah.
The equivalent of a parking lot. Don't teach to them when I have people coming in or whatever, when I'm busy on a call. Other times. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. It does. Lisa asked a question. She says her dog will never eat out of the dog bowl, only out of her hand. What would you say?
I would let him not eat.
Yeah, that one I was thinking, right? This is so, I mean, look, it's always look at your own behavior. I'm giving you guys a minute to write some more of your questions. And I'm going to I have to show you, but Justin, you come here too. Justin's here to say hi tomorrow. This is,
I just a little one.
Hello.
Okay, so this one poses the question, can you teach an old dog new tricks?
Yes.
Because he's 8.
Yes.
And he's probably had a ton of disruption because he's been passed around. I mean, when we got him, we had so many people reach out and say, oh, I fostered him. And so he's always been, I think, very loved, but his circumstances changed a bunch. Like, how do you teach an old dog new tricks?
So the way that I'm looking at is cognitive versus sympathetic nervous system.
Okay.
If somebody been through a trauma and the system is very tightly wound in order to protect itself, almost like a rosebud, we need to find ways to open the nervous system, because as long as the nervous system is tight, there is no cognitive knowledge that can go in effectively. I'll give you an example. If you're on an airplane and there is turbulence and the oxygen mask drop, and I'm saying, great, Cindy, now it's time to teach you how to do media training.
Yeah.
Time to learn how to speak Italian.
Yeah.
You can get away from me, you speak. I'm listening to everything that comes. So what's happening, a lot of dogs who've been through trauma, just as people, I'm one of them, live with chronic stress. And what happened with chronic stress, the body is hypervigilant at how can I find peace? How can I, they are not relaxed to learn. So when we talk about an old dog, it's not about if they're smart. I work with 11-year-old dogs. If there was no trauma, it's
Yeah.
easy to teach new thing. If there was trauma, then it's closed. So
Yeah.
I'm looking not necessarily the chronological age, but trauma, because if he had the first 3 years of his life traumatic,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a child who was raised the first few years of their life in trauma.
Yeah.
Do you know
I
what I mean?
get it.
So the
Mm-hmm.
becomes like when you make a pot and you put it in the kiln,
Kiln. Yeah.
it's hard already. So, but as far as age, it doesn't bother me. But ask me, what do you have in?
Yeah. Well, listen, I got to tell you, I have to, I'm the problem in that I'm overly attached. Look at this.
That's correct.
But I mean, this little dog, I say this often though, you know, you rescue a dog and they actually rescue you back. I mean, in so many ways, and I feel like he knows it. And he's such a love. I mean, he's just been such a delight. Um, I've gotten a ton of questions. I bet you get this all the time, and this is maybe an opportunity to even debunk some myths. And it's always, are there easy to train, difficult to train breeds?
All
Is
right.
it really breed? Is it dog? Is it owner?
It's all of the above. It actually is all of the above. Do you have siblings?
I do.
Are you guys the same? Are
What's
you,
that?
are you and your siblings same personality?
No, of course
Cool.
not.
Were you
No,
cool?
different.
Okay. But you are exact same breed.
Yeah.
Those of us who have twins, identical twins, they're exactly the same in school or not. I can tell you, I worked with Pomeranians who are clones. Clones, two Pomeranians that are clones.
Yeah.
I posted one of them actually 2 days ago on my Instagram, the one who catches the ball.
Oh,
He's
yeah, yeah.
the other one doesn't even look at the ball, doesn't even care. Not only they are the same
Oh.
breed, they are clones.
Wow. That's incredible.
Do you see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
that said, there are certain traits that I would expect that are epigenetic. So golden retrievers, I've worked with the most aggressive golden retrievers, but generally they're not. Generally, they're easier to work with, easier than even Labradors,
Mm,
easier than Frenchies. The problem that I see very often is when a breed becomes popular, such as Frenchies and the doodle breeds. And what happened is there is discriminatory or indiscriminatory breeding, meaning people who should not breed because they don't care about the health, emotional health,
right.
mental health,
Right.
breed dogs that look gorgeous. Because
Yeah.
the consumer, people go, oh, the dog is gorgeous. You know, if any problem, I'll take him for training. Training, like therapy, cannot fix if there was physical reasons for trauma. If
Right.
the mother, while she was pregnant with the pup, was distressed and her cortisol level was out of control because the fluids in her belly, uh,
Yeah.
whatever it's called, I forgot what it's called, are full of cortisol. So the puppy's nervous system
Yeah.
already designed to be stressed, designed to have fear. Do you know how many golden doodles and labradoodles that are the most gorgeous in the world that I'm working with, that they have aggression? And people like labradoodle golden doodles should not have it. And I'm like, yes, they came
Yeah.
from a line that they were bred to look the most beautiful, but all of them, because sometimes when I work with the same breeder, like, you know, like in LA, a breeder becomes popular, everybody get the dog from that breeder, and I get to see 5, 6, 7 dogs from the same breeder. All of them have the same fear issues, and fear
Yeah.
comes aggression
Yeah.
because the best defense is offense. So to your question, you know, it's individuals, like you and your siblings are different, even clones are different, but within a breed, there are certain expectations.
Sure.
But it's a lot to do with the individual and the experience. So yes and no. Like in life, there's rarely any answer. Yes, this is not mathematics. This is not chemistry. This is
Art.
life. Yes,
It's art.
you know. So it's true,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And when people ask me what is a good breed for children, is like me. It's like somebody asked me what is a good race to find a husband.
Yeah, right. I
You know,
will say, you know, we got Mo from rescue in LA called Road Dogs, and I
love,
do love
love.
love road dogs. And one of the things I love, I mean, I do love a little flat-faced dog, but they're so clear about there's a lot of health issues related to this. They're rescuing these dogs because they have been so overbred, because they became popular. I mean, Mo came with a host of issues. His tongue hangs out. It's very funny and cute, but it's also
Amazing.
actually a real problem. Like he has to be spoon fed with a baby spoon and everything else. So you know, it's really they're a delight, and I do think only the rescues that are, you know, being totally transparent and breeders about like here's what you're getting. It's exactly what Tamar said. I know our Instagram's going to cut us off here in a few minutes because we've had so much fun chatting, but you know, it is about like, are you a dog liker? Are you a dog lover? Are you entering a relationship? I think everybody took away from this. This is the beauty of spending time with Tamar. It goes so much further than just this incredible important piece of our family, our four-legged friends. It's really a sort of life philosophy
Yeah.
of being in touch with who you are, what the needs are, and what you're bringing to the table. I've had so much fun. There are so many questions that I could not possibly get to. I'm sorry, guys. We went longer than we even expected, but she told you what to do. Go to thelovedog.com. She's going to put content up there. Sign up to get this content because it's going to answer all these questions. There are questions about supplements. There's questions about, oh, wait, I have one more minute. I have a woman that works for me, Melissa. Hey, Melissa, I know you're on. She has a dog named Tucker. Melissa's been with me since she adopted Tucker. This dog will sit in the corner and stare. Like I've never seen a dog like this before. Any insight for Tucker about this dog that's so funny sitting and staring? Say
Somebody
that one
was
more
calling
time,
me, so
Tamar.
please, it got cut off because somebody was calling me.
Oh, you got cut off. So look, Melissa's writing. So one dog, he
Yeah.
sits in the corner and stares. And do you have any A, insight on that? And B, how do you make sure the dogs get along with toddlers? She has a baby as well.
Obviously, this is a much long answer, but the one thing is that dogs do have OCD, just like people. And if he just sit and stare, nothing, it can be that he was just, this is a defense mechanism from something that happened in the past, like an avoidance method. It can be OCD. And the quick answer on how to get along with a toddler is how to make sure that every time the toddler is there, his life becomes better. That he's going to associate pleasure with the toddler.
Ah, such a good tip. I love it. Tamar, you are such an incredible force of nature. The work you do in this world has such an incredible impact.
Thank
She
you.
is an example for me of what it means truly to be a woman on top. And as she said earlier, it's not just that she's at the pinnacle of her career. She is globally recognized, best-selling author. This is who's on the speed dial of, you know, people who can find and get to the best, but she really is doing it from a deep place of in her heart, I would say, and she's making an impact again well beyond herself. She puts other people there as well, and I'm so appreciative of that. I'm appreciative of your friendship, and I loved this time together. Everybody, again, thelovedog.com, and her handles as well on social are at thelovedog. Thank you so much for your time today. What a
I
great
love you.
Friday.
Can't wait to go to dinner.
I know, me too. I can't wait to see you again. Mo says the same. He wants to say hi in person.
Bye.
Bye.